So welcome along to the video where Mr. Hamill turns you into the most amazing of artistic drawers whenever we come up with our next poster looking at river management strategies in the 6 Mile River in Ballyclare. Now you might be a little bit apprehensive about having to draw something like this when I show you what I want you to do, but I'm going to guide you through step by step, and as long as you follow me through step by step you will be fine. This is Ballyclare. You will of course have gone through and investigated all these areas. The red points are your hard engineering, your green points are your soft engineering. You shouldn't have gone through that little area and found out how things are being managed in different locations. I think probably the best thing for us to do is what we would call here our final overview of the river, and whenever it comes to the final overview here, this gives us the area that we want to look at. Now I want you to see this line coming down here. This is the bypass. We want to draw that on, and this line here is the main road through. We're going to draw those on to indicate them and give us a little bit of sense of where we're at. Then if you take a look at the line here for the edge of the urban area, we're just going to sketch lines in roughly in the right place. We're just interested in a rough indication of where these things are. So that's going to be what we're looking at. You can have that final view in front of you as you're doing it, but here is my sheet of paper that we're going to be using to draw this on. So let's start off with that bypass. Remember what the bypass looked like? See that shape there? We're going to draw on that shape onto our piece of paper. We'll do something just simply like that. And that's our bypass. And we'll mark on just faintly the main road on the way through as well. That gives us a little bit of frame of reference. So you're drawing on a shape like that and a shape like that. In terms of the urban areas, the urban area comes up like this, around like this. Again, it's just a rough indication of where these things are. It comes the other side of the main road here, and then we have our urban park coming here. And that's pretty much all that we have to draw on in terms of the urban area. So if you draw those lines on, and that will show you roughly where everything is. And then finally, and of course very importantly, is the actual river itself. Now if you want to do this in ordinary pencil, first of all, that's fine. I'm just going to weigh on in here because I like to live life on the edge by using my Axel blue colouring pencil. Skills, what skills! Oh my goodness, all in one go. There you go. There is the river marked on, and that's the basic sketch map that you need to draw for this, because the key for this, folks, is that I want to see if you can show for me understanding of what methods are used in which locations and why. The preference today, soft engineering. So why is it that we have some hard engineering in some places here? Okay, so far so good. Hopefully you've got those drawn on. Next comes the cool bit, because what I want us to do is to come in and just sample a few locations here. We're going to take this location, and remember, every time you come to these there's some information on here telling you about it, but there's also a photograph. And yes, I want you to draw photographs like that into your poster. What, you say? No way, Mr. Hammer, I'm no good at art. Just trust me, trust me, trust me. I'm going to show you how to do it. Don't you worry. I will not leave you behind. So let me give you a wee bit of an overview of how we're going to do this in the poster. What I'll want is some indication of what they're using upstream of the urban area, because that's important. Then I will want you to do something on the urban area, the centre of the town itself, because that's important. Those two will contrast greatly. And then your third one is you can either do something in the urban park, or you can do another wee piece of hard engineering, and that's the little tributary that comes feeding in here. You can do either one of those two. So we're going to draw on 3 different little sketches. One will go here, one will go here, and one will go here. So you need to plan that out. That's why maybe if you've got an A3 sheet of paper, that'll be easier for you, because it'll give you a little bit more space. So we need to draw this. Can we do it? Yeah, of course we can. Into this little space down here. The first thing that we need to do is kind of like a backwards S. That's the sweep of our meander, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. There you go. Just like that. Then we need another one right there. Like that. There you go. That's about it. Oh well, we'll add a few more things in, will we? Because we want the background coming around here up to the cliff. What do you call the cliff at the edge of a floodplain? Do you remember? It's the bluff line, yes, that's right. And then we'll just start to sketch in a few bits and pieces. Now the tree's just in the corner here. So I'm going to sketch in roughly what these trees look like. This isn't about being absolutely photorealistic. It's just showing in the rough indication of it. And as we'll see in the photograph and look back again, in the background there is the leisure centre. It's way in the background. And this is our bluff line. Now you can add the annotation on here, and there's a river. So we just start then to shade this in. Now you want to give a wee bit of a sense of the shape of the river, the currents flowing around here, so you'll do something like this. You can make this, take a bit more time at it, make it look really pretty, that kind of thing. So there you go. Then the edge of the river, you've got the floodplain, it's the flat land. Oh, how are we going to show flat land? Well, maybe lines like this. Flat land close to the river that is liable to flooding, experiences flooding, and then there's your bluff line in the background. Now, the key though for this is our annotation. This is upstream of the urban area, and it is soft engineering. And the method here is your washland. But my question to you is why? Why is it that washlands are used here? You will get the answer to that in those little pop-up boxes in the actual GIS map, but then you've got a little bit of space here for some annotation. Got space around about the place for annotation. A bit of a clue as to what you might add. You'll notice in some of the posters that, some of the photos that there's clearly puddles lying here, so you might want to add that on as well. So what I'm looking for here is for you to explain to me, first of all, why washlands? How do they work? Right? What is it that they do that helps, if you use them here, helps the flood risk here? And why would you use it? Now, the trees here and some of the other plants are a bit of a clue. Habitat diversity, that kind of thing. So I'm looking for you to show your understanding of why this is used here. Talking of here, let's mark on, indicate exactly where this is in the photograph. So does that look like anything like the photograph itself? Let's come back and have a wee look. Hey, that's not bad. Like, I'm not going to win any art prizes for it, but that's not the point. There's some of the puddles there, you can see those? Some of the places that are being used. The point is just to give, and there's the leisure centre in background. The point here is to give a sense of what this is looking like. Right, that's our first one. Our second one we're going to come into here is this survey point here, because we're now in the middle of the urban area. And this is our photograph this time. Whoa, now this is looking more complicated. Again, don't panic. This is all about these curved shapes, right? Notice that curved shape and that curved shape. So let's draw those on to our poster. Right, so we're going to put this in this space. Remember, leave a space at the top for your other bit here. So we're going to bring in this line here, and this line here. So that's a more curvy curve, that's a less curvy curve. I'm not sure the terminology there, but that's the idea. And that's your river. Okay, let's look back at the photograph, see what else we've got to pull in here. Over on the left hand side we have got path, and then we've got a wall, a wee bit of a slope there. Over the side is a wall. Now there's fences there, but those fences are just put in the wall. That's a flood wall. Why? So we've got to draw in some of our buildings. Okay, so here's how we go about doing this. At this side we've got our path. Now here's where the secret lies in this perspective. These lines have got to converge as they go away into the distance. They've got to get closer together. That's your secret to making this look really three-dimensional. Then you've got your wall coming down here. Again, we're going to get that to converge coming through there. And then we've got our slope at the top. The slope is sloped. See? Yeah, right. Then we have a few trees on here. Let's draw on our wee trees. There we go again. So this is just like roughly indicating where they are, that kind of thing. And then over the other side we've got our wall. So again, it's perspective time. So it's closer together there, getting bigger as you come out here. Right, and then this is where you can draw on some of your buildings. Now you can be as precise with this as you like here, folks. So you can go into the photograph. If you're one of the really arty ones in the class, you can go and do this very, very precisely here. I'm just giving you a rough indication of some of the buildings. The idea is for you to show that these are coming up very, very close to the edge of the river. So here we go with a wee bit of shading in. There's the wall down, there's the path, there's the wall there. And again, take a wee bit of time to make this look nice and pretty. There's our buildings. Yeah. Anyway, you can go to town with that in terms of a wee bit of art therapy there, if you fancy just sticking the music on and have a wee bit of a draw to yourself. Now, that's a good way of spending an evening if you ask me. And then the river, like this, it's just flowing down like this, so you can draw in your river. And there you go, look at what you've got. So our location, this is your town centre. And this time it's hard engineering. Trying to control your ring. And the method here is your flood walls. So yeah, it is. Your flood walls. That's your method. Again, folks, the key here is the annotation. So this is being used in this location here, right in the town centre. That's where this is being used. So you bring this line out here, because that's that part of the river. We're now in the town centre, so we are. Why is it that we need hard engineering? Why is it that that method needs to be used in that location, whenever the preference these days is for soft engineering? Why? Why, I ask you? You know the answer, don't you? You can get the annotation, you can tell me. You can go on and take a wee look at the pop-up boxes in the GIS map that'll help you. Then your last one is either to do the urban park or to do this little tributary here. So let's go back into our GIS map here. So you can go down into the urban park. Now, not all of these have got photographs with them, so you're going to have to pick one with a photograph. Some of the photos didn't upload for some reason. So maybe it's that one with the lovely rainbow, a rainbow of hope. So it's maybe that is the one that you want to bring. So this gives me a good opportunity actually just to mention to you about the social, economic and environmental benefits, because what you've got here are the buildings far away. This is the urban park, remember? So there's the buildings over there. That's the photograph there. There's the buildings there. The buildings are far away. You have got the habitat diversity here. When this river floods, these plants are adapted to survive in that. But you've also got the social benefits here of somebody out for a walk, good for your physical and mental health in this urban park. So you can pick that one, or you can come down here to one of these ones. I quite like this, right at the very end, if you really fancy showing off your artistic skills, because what you see here is a couple of different hard engineering strategies. You've got a levee here, that's embankment built up, and then you've got gabions built here. These are metal-filled cages, as you know, built here because they've got some new houses, built new houses right beside the river. And if you come down this river just a little bit to here, you'll see that this is extremely engineered, this little bit of the river. Very, very engineered, doesn't look natural at all. You might want to take this photograph as well. If you like doing your perspective drawings, those of you good at art, isn't that class? That line would be very satisfying to draw. We've got the original wall there. This one, remember, was damaged in the past and had to be rebuilt. This allows you to talk about the sustainability, tying future generations in. Why would you tie future generations in to having to maintain these hard engineering strategies? Why does that seem sensible to you at all? Yeah, maybe your clue is there. So you can pick either the park or this little bit of the urban area here, and you can figure out for yourself what one you want to do and draw on your little diagram. Again, the key is your annotation. Once you've got that all done, it's just a matter of bringing it on home. You've got all of those in place now, so we can shade this in. Again, I'm just going to do this very, very quickly for you to show the urban area, the housing area, so that kind of thing. It comes across here and it's around this side as well. Of course, you'll have a diagram up here, so you'll want to see that whole area. Oh my goodness, I'm just doing this really, really quickly to give you a bit of an indication as to how this all might go. And of course, as I'm shading this in, I'll say to you again that if you want to do a digital version of this, some of the digital versions that I've done of your last poster were absolutely excellent. So if you want to do a digital version of this, that's absolutely fine. The key for you is laying it out, and especially as the key for this one as well is your annotation. And that is the kind of thing that I'm looking for from you, to show me what strategies are used, where, and why. And hopefully that will help. And I can't wait to see what you draw.